said I talk too much, so I learned to hold my tongue. You said I took things personally, so I swallowed everyone. You said I needed patience, so I gave you room to breathe. You said I was too distant then, and that's what happened to me. I changed the way I answered, I changed the way I cried. I learned to count to 10 before I said what hurt inside. But every time I reached the place you told me I should be, you moved the line a little farther and found another fault in me. I thought I was improving, I thought that was the game. But every time I learned the rules, you went and changed the name. I kept on bending lower till my back knew the strain. I wore you almost right, like a bruise I couldn't name. I passed every test, you just changed the questions. I fixed every flaw, you found another one. I became more quiet, you said I had no passion. I became more loving, you said I held on too strong. A moving target, moving target. I could never get it right, because getting it right was never what you wanted. You wanted me independent till I stopped asking you. You wanted me to need you till I needed too much too. You wanted me forgiving till forgiveness looked like weakness. You wanted honesty from me till honesty became inconvenient. You wanted me beside you, but never in your way, close enough to carry you, far enough to never say that maybe I was tired too. Maybe I had needs, maybe love was never meant to be one person on her knees. I thought if I could reach you, if I could finally understand, I would become the woman you kept describing in your hands. But she kept changing shape every time I came too near, and suddenly I understood why I had lived so many years in fear. I passed every test, you just changed the questions. I fixed every flaw, you found another one. I became more quiet, you said I had no passion. I became more loving, you said I held on too strong. A moving target, a moving target. I could never get it right, because getting it right was never what you wanted. What if the problem wasn't that I could never get it right? What if you needed something wrong, so you could always win the fight? What if every answer had to lead to one more doubt? Because if I ever became enough, what would you complain about? Who would you correct? Who would you blame? Who would carry all the things you couldn't better name? Baby, I spent years trying to become your peace, while you kept moving the horizon, so the searching wouldn't cease. Too loud, too quiet, too close, too far, too soft, too stubborn, too much, not enough. Tell me, was there ever a right version of me? I passed every test. Till I barely knew my reflection, and still you stood there telling me there was something left undone. Now I know the secret, I was never meant to win. You needed me, still chasing what you'd never let me in. A moving target, a moving target. I could never get it